Hey everybody, so this is my 15 foot by 20 foot UWIOFF 20 mil pond liner. Okay, it cost me up $99.99 not that long ago, but it's on sale right now for 80 bucks. Okay, and as you can see, I'm gonna have some extra. I'm gonna be able to use that eventually for my little creek thing that is gonna go down to the duck scuttle pond down below. I am just now getting ready to fill this up with water. So the thing about these is that they do seem to leach a lot of chemicals. So you don't want to put one of these in and then have your livestock drinking out of it right away. Sorry, I have my water turned off down in the basement and it's taken a while to work its way through this super duper long coiled up hose I got. But anyways, down here, I just put pots over top of my boxwoods so that this thing would, oh well snap, that one came off, but it's still kind of back in there. And then I've got just like a thing next to this, but that tree is a little too tall down in there. Earlier today I just started some zucchini seeds and some other things in trays. Okay, it is that time of year, you can still start zucchini in a whole bunch of different zones. I left some extra overlap. What's going to end up happening is these bricks are going to go around the lower side of the pond, and then the liner is going to go on top of that, and then it's going to have dirt put on top of it. Now I was going to weed cloth over this whole mound on the side here, but I'm actually going to cut it back and let grass grow on that mound and then just recommence the weed cloth down here. So I am just going to have a little bit of kind of wilding grass, but I think it's going to help keep my animals from slipping on loose rocks and injuring themselves and like hurting an ankle or something like that. You know, you don't really want your animals hurting their ankles and things like that and having to hobble around. Okay, this is going to take a while. Now I'm not going to put the drain plug in for a little while. I'm going to end up rolling this back once it settles so that my plants aren't covered, and I'm just going to let it hang out with that water for a little while, and then eventually I'm going to take the sump pump and pump it out and then put the drain plug in. Okay, I mean, I intentionally made it so that that spot right in there was going to be the lowest spot that everything was going to want to drain out of. Okay, I intentionally laid the earth and everything because then what's going to happen is I set up them cement blocks down there where I'm going to be able to reach my arm through those holes to open up the drain. Okay, and then eventually this area is going to take me really long because this has gravel pack under it, so it's not going to be easy to dig, but it's going to get dug out, and then that trench is going to go all the way down. Like you can see, there's like a little lump right there next to the driveway that hasn't been beat down by vehicles going over it. But yeah, I'm going to have to grade it so that the water, it's going to meander down a little stream and it's going to be rocked and it's going to look nice. Okay, now this thing cost me 100 bucks. You don't even want to know how much money I spent up on rocks so far, and I'm not anywhere close to being done. But I'm like, this is what I'm doing for myself. This is my therapy. It looks nice. It makes me feel good to have like a little bit of area. I haven't even weeded this bed yet, but eventually it's going to be really nice. And I'm just going to have a little area, and like I'm to a point where like I need to have just some order in my life. So if I even have to like spray stuff or like take boiling water to any weeds that pop through, whatever it takes. Okay, now eventually it's going to go back into the whole, extend into the whole living space, and I'll be able to pull the truck around here. Okay, but anyways, you know, these aren't really meant to just look at. They're meant to help provision me with, you know, easy maintenance for meat and livestock to sell to other people so that they can also raise their own meat. Okay, have their own egg source, things like that. So I'm going to take out some of this dirt. I'm going to be putting it in these big totes because I've just got, you know, weeds everywhere. I'm not wanting to put vegetables like up in my nursery area yet. I'm going to be filling some totes with dirt and straw, and I'm going to be growing some more zucchinis in those as well. I'm going to be filling in the empty spots. I don't know if it's too late to get Blue Hubbard started. I just stuck some seeds in to get started just in case I still have time. I don't need the squash to get to full size, you know, the full, like, very large Blue Hubbard size in order for them to still be good to eat. Okay. So again, I think that people, when they're thinking about preps and things like that, you know, don't look at it at a place of fear. Look at it from a place of sustainability. Okay, some people go and they spend $5,000 on a pallet of long storage emergency food. Okay? You know, if the dookie really hit the fan, how long do you think you have until somebody comes and steals that? You know, did you get some waterproof containers and bury them out in your yard and put some sod over them so that nobody's going to know where they are? You know, you might need to put rocks, drainage around that too. But my mom, okay, right after she was born, she was orphaned. And she was raised by her widowed grandmother on a sweet potato farm in South Korea. And they had to bury their food to keep the soldiers from stealing it. So they would leave just a little bit of pantry on the shelf. Everything else they had to bury or else it would get taken from them. Okay? That's in South Korea. South Korean soldiers. Most of you don't realize that you don't know anything. You've been brainwashed with false history and everything. You don't know who Sigmund Rhee is and what a genocidal Bolshevik freak he is. You don't know anything. Okay, so once your food is gone, then what are you going to do? Do you not know how to like raise any crops whatsoever? You know, because the thing is you don't need the dookie to hit the fan for that to be useful for you. Because food is getting more expensive. I went and I got a big sack of my favorite rice that is like available broadly. Okay, it was like $25. You know, for a 5-pound sack of non-brominated flour was $7.50. Okay, it's getting expensive out there, and you've had time to prepare. What are you doing to build up your resiliency? You know, if you put your money into like sustainable waterfowl and stuff like that, if you put your energy into building up relationships with your neighbors, okay, when your neighbors know that you already have a history of working together to help each other, they're not going to burn that bridge with you and gank all your stuff. Because even before things get desperate, they're going to be willing to work together, and you're going to get to figure out who's hardworking, who's not, who reciprocates, who doesn't, who is more dangerous than others. You know, you got to determine all those things because a whole lot of people get dangerous if their children don't have enough to eat. Okay? So how do you bring value to your community? How do you build a culture of collaboration so that everybody benefits? Okay. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to keep letting this fill up. I don't know what's going to happen because we may have an opposition faction come stand in the gap for you all. But I've seen enough of people's character, etc., 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 etc. I've seen enough. Okay, so how are you spending your time to help build up your resiliency or not?